Flying after 70 isn't just possible. It can actually be easier than ever if you know what to ask for. Airlines and airports don't go out of their way to advertise it, but seniors are eligible for several valuable perks that can make travel cheaper, faster, and far more comfortable. You just need to speak up and claim them. So, here are some amazing perks for seniors which they should not ignore. 1. Early boarding without the hassle. A lot of seniors don't realize this, but many airlines will quietly allow early boarding if you just ask. You don't need to be flying first class, you don't need elite status, and you don't need a wheelchair or a doctor's note. If you're over 70 and feel like you could use a little more time walking down the jet bridge or getting your carry-on in the overhead bin, you have every right to speak up. The key is not to wait for some formal announcement. Airlines don't always advertise senior boarding, and many gate agents won't ask. But they usually won't say no either, especially if you're polite, respectful, and clear about your needs. A simple line like, "Would it be possible to board a little early? I move a bit slower these days," is enough. You won't get a side eye or pushback. In fact, most agents appreciate that you spoke up instead of struggling in silence. Seniors are often grouped into the pre-boarding category, the same one reserved for families with infants, people using crutches, and others who need extra time. There's no paperwork involved. No one will quiz you. All it takes is one sentence and a bit of self-advocacy. The worst they can say is, "We'll call you right after pre-boarding," which still gets you in before the general crowd. This early access means you can walk the aisle without the rush, find your seat without the crowd, and get your bag into the overhead bin before space runs out. You don't have to wrestle with luggage while people breathe down your neck. And if you have a connecting flight, boarding early gives you a few extra minutes to settle in and check your gate info without feeling flustered. It's one of the easiest travel perks out there, but only if you speak up. 2. Wheelchair service equals VIP airport access. A lot of seniors think those little airport carts are just for wheelchair users or celebrities who shelled out for VIP treatment. But here's the truth. If you're over 70 and walking long distances is a chore, you can absolutely ask for a ride. No, you don't need to limp dramatically or flash a doctor's note. You just need to speak up. These electric carts are meant for passengers who need a little extra help getting through the terminal. And most airlines work with airport staff to make it happen, quietly, without putting you on display. The process isn't complicated. Just ask at the check-in counter or when you get your boarding pass. Is it possible to get a cart or some help getting to the gate? Long walks are a bit tough these days. That one sentence is usually all it takes. You won't get judged, you won't get grilled. And in most cases, they'll either tag your reservation for mobility assistance or point you to where the carts are waiting. A staff member might walk with you. They might zip you over in a cart. Either way, you'll save your legs and your energy. No drama, no fuss. And look, this isn't about being weak or needy. It's about not showing up to your flight already exhausted. These terminals are massive, and some of them make you hike a full mile just to get to a gate. Why turn the start of your trip into a punishment? But here's the part they don't advertise. You've got to ask early. Don't wait until you're halfway to the gate and ready to collapse. Ask when you check in. Or, better yet, call the airline 24 hours before and make sure the note's in your booking. It's not glamorous, but it works. Nobody hands this stuff out. But if you ask for it, 9 times out of 10, they'll say yes. And you'll arrive at your gate calm, rested, and 10 steps ahead of the chaos. 3. Free help through TSA Cares. Another hidden gem for senior travelers is TSA Cares. It's a free support program run by the Transportation Security Administration, specifically designed to help travelers who may need extra time, discretion, or personal assistance during the security screening process. Here's how it works. You contact TSA Cares at least 72 hours before your flight. They'll assign a dedicated support officer to meet you at the security checkpoint. That officer is there to walk you through the entire screening process, step by step, so you don't feel rushed or overwhelmed. This is especially helpful if you have medical implants, joint replacements, or devices that often trigger metal detectors. You don't need to be enrolled in TSA PreCheck to access TSA Cares. The service is available to any senior who asks for it. It's completely optional, but incredibly valuable. Instead of facing a packed security line or getting flustered while removing shoes and electronics, you'll have someone there with you, making sure the process is as quick and dignified as possible. It's not about special treatment. It's about getting the help you deserve in an environment that can often feel chaotic and impersonal. Whether you're traveling alone or with family, TSA Cares offers peace of mind. Together, wheelchair service and TSA Cares can remove almost every barrier between you and your gate. And the best part? They're both free and easy to request. You just need to know they exist and ask. 4. Real senior discounts still exist. Despite what modern booking sites suggest, real senior discounts are still out there. You just have to know where to look. Airlines like Southwest and United still offer reduced fares for travelers over 65. But here's the trick. These deals are not listed on regular booking websites. You have to call and ask for them. Yup, that old school phone call can still pay off. And while these senior fares might not always be the absolute cheapest, they often include bonuses like free checked bags, better seating, or flexible cancellation policies, perks that can easily make up the difference in cost. If you're an AARP member, things get even better. AARP partners with several airlines and travel companies to offer exclusive discounts on flights, hotels, and even airport lounge access. But again, these offers won't show up by default. You'll need to go through the AARP travel portal or mention your membership when speaking with a booking agent. Here's what you do. When you call the airline, say something like, "I'm a senior. Do you have any special fares for passengers over 65? Some agents may apply hidden discounts or waive fees you wouldn't even know to ask about. It might take a few extra minutes on the phone, but the payoff can be big. Lower fares, better perks, less hassle, and all because you simply asked. Knowing what to say and who to say it to can stretch your budget without cutting your comfort. If you're over 65, don't be shy about using your age to your advantage. You've earned it. 5. Free checked medical bags and devices. A lot of travelers don't know this, but if you fly with medical gear, you're entitled to some pretty helpful perks, completely free of charge. That means CPAP machines, portable oxygen concentrators, walkers, canes, even coolers for insulin or other temperature-sensitive medication. These aren't just allowed, they're protected by law, and they don't count toward your carry-on or checked bag limit. You could have a full-size suitcase and still bring your medical device on board or check it for free. Airlines aren't allowed to charge you extra for medical equipment. That includes every major US airline and most international carriers too. Here's how to make it easy. Call the airline about 48 hours before your flight. Let them know you're traveling with a medical item. They'll usually flag your reservation with a medical note, and that small step can save you a big headache later. When gate agents or check-in staff see the note, they're a lot more likely to give you smooth treatment. No questions, no confusion. Some airlines are even more generous than the law requires. If your item is large and you prefer to check it, many airlines will waive the checked baggage fee. No paperwork required. That includes things like foldable wheelchairs, portable nebulizers, and even breast pumps. You just have to speak up. This isn't a loophole or a hidden trick. It's part of basic air travel rights. But because so few people ask, most travelers end up lugging heavy gear around unnecessarily, or paying out of pocket when they don't have to. Don't make that mistake. If you've got a medical device, bring it. If it needs checking, let them know. No one will push back. And the best part? This rule applies whether you're flying economy or business, domestic or international, non-stop, or with 3 layovers. 6. Senior access to airport lounges. Most people assume airport lounges are only for business travelers in suits or first-class passengers sipping champagne. But seniors can get access too, often for a lot less than you'd think, and sometimes even for free. Seniors can often get in during long layovers, delays, or when traveling for medical reasons. Some lounges waive fees altogether if you're dealing with a delay due to health concerns or have documentation showing you're traveling for treatment. And the benefits are real. Lounges aren't just about cushy chairs and quiet space. They give you access to free snacks and meals, clean private bathrooms, better Wi-Fi, and sometimes even showers or day beds. It's a much better way to spend a 3-hour wait than fighting for space in a noisy terminal. The trick is knowing which lounges you're eligible for before you get to the airport. Apps like Lounge Buddy and Priority Pass can tell you what lounges are nearby and how to get in. Some let you book entries on the spot. Others will tell you if your ticket or credit card qualifies for entry. If you're over 65 or just need a quiet place to regroup between flights, don't rule out lounges. They're not just for business travelers, they're for smart ones, seniors included. 7. Free or discounted seat upgrades. Here's one perk most people completely miss, especially older travelers. You can sometimes get a better seat just by asking. No extra fees, no loyalty status, no magic tricks. Just a little timing and confidence. Here's how it works. Airlines often hold back a few extra legroom or preferred seats until just before boarding. Sometimes it's because they're waiting to assign them to frequent flyers. Sometimes it's just to keep some flexibility for last-minute changes. But if those seats stay empty, they don't want them going to waste. And that's where you come in. Instead of checking in online like everyone else, go to the counter and ask this exact question. Hi there, are there any more comfortable seats available today? No need to beg, no need to explain your medical history. Just be polite, show up early, and speak up. The trick is timing. You've got better odds if you're flying midweek or early morning when flights are less packed. And yes, it helps if you're dressed decently and treat the staff like human beings. If you're flying solo or mention you've got some mobility issues, your odds go up even more. Even small changes matter. Moving from a cramped middle seat to an aisle, or getting closer to the front where it's quieter and easier to get off the plane. That makes a world of difference when you've got knee pain, arthritis, or just don't want to be trapped between two strangers for 5 hours. 8. Companion discounts for caregivers or family. Not all seniors travel alone. Whether you're flying with a spouse, caregiver, or adult child, there's a little-known travel tip that could save you real money: companion discounts. But here's the catch. You won't find these deals online. These are unpublished offers, and you'll need to call the airline directly and ask. Let's say you're flying for a medical appointment, a family gathering, or just need support during the trip. When booking, explain your situation. Try something simple like, I'm a senior flying with a caregiver. Do you offer any companion fares or assistance programs? Some airlines have internal pricing codes or quiet flexibility for cases like this. You're not guaranteed a cheaper ticket, but you might get waived seat selection fees, early boarding for both passengers, or guaranteed seats together. That kind of help makes a big difference. And don't expect a booking app to help you. Third-party travel sites might save you $10 up front, but they also lock you out of speaking with a real person. And no real person means no real options. Book directly with the airline. Better yet, if you know a travel agent who handles senior travel, use them. They often know what to say and who to call to unlock perks that most people never hear about. This isn't about special treatment. It's about knowing how the system works and working it. Airlines don't advertise this stuff, but that doesn't mean it's not available. You just have to ask. Worst case, they say no. Best case, you save a few $100s, skip the seating chaos, and get through the airport with less stress. 9. Flexible cancellation and rebooking policies. This is something that you should never ignore. Life doesn't always follow a perfect schedule, especially as you get older. Health issues, sudden family emergencies, or last-minute doctor's appointments can all pop up, forcing a change in your travel plans. What most people don't know is that airlines often show a surprising amount of flexibility to senior travelers, but only if you call and speak to someone. If you try to cancel or rebook through an app or website, you'll hit the usual wall of standard policies, rebooking fees, fare differences, and non-refundable rules. But when you get on the phone and explain that you're a senior dealing with an unexpected situation, many agents will quietly waive those fees or issue flight credits, even if your ticket was non-refundable. You won't need to show a doctor's note or any medical documents. It's not written in their official rules, but the policy is real, and it's used more often than people realize. This kind of exception is rarely granted automatically. It takes a calm, polite phone call to customer service. Just explain your situation and let them know you're a senior traveler trying to adjust due to personal circumstances. Most agents are understanding, and they have the power to help you more than the app ever will. If your plans go sideways, don't panic, don't click, call. Speaking to a real person can save your money, your seat, and your sanity. 10. Priority. In-flight attention. Flight attendants are trained to help passengers who may need extra care, especially seniors. But here's the catch. They usually won't know unless you tell them ahead of time. If you'd like a little extra attention, all it takes is one simple step when you check in. At the airport, speak to the gate agent or check-in counter and say something like, "I sometimes need help lifting my carry-on," or "I get a little dizzy on long flights." That note gets added to your file, and the flight crew will see it once you board. It's discreet, but effective. Once you're on the plane, this heads-up can change your whole experience. The crew might check on you more often, help you with overhead bins, offer water before others, or even bring comfort items like pillows or blankets early. You're not being needy, you're just making your needs known. This service isn't a special favor. It's about safety, courtesy, and ensuring your flight is smooth. Cabin crew members actually appreciate knowing who might need a little help, so they can plan ahead. It also helps them provide better service without having to guess. You don't have to exaggerate or make a fuss. A few calm words at check-in are enough to unlock a more attentive experience in the air. On a long flight, that extra water or assistance can make all the difference in how rested and comfortable you feel by the time you land. 11. Faster help. During delays or cancellations. When flights get delayed or canceled, most people sprint to the customer service desk like it's a Black Friday sale. But if you're over 70, you don't have to play that game. Skip the stress and walk straight to the gate agent. Gate agents are trained to prioritize travelers who may need extra help, especially seniors. If you calmly explain your situation, odds are you'll be rebooked faster, offered a better seat, or even handed a food or drink voucher while everyone else is still standing in line. This isn't written in any official rulebook, but it's standard behind-the-scenes practice. Speak up early and respectfully, and you'll almost always get better treatment than the rest of the crowd. Want to actually use these perks? Here's how. Book directly with the airline. Third-party travel apps can block access to upgrades, notes, and senior accommodations. Call 48-72 hours before your flight. Mention your age, medical gear, or any mobility needs. Have the info added to your reservation. Check in at the airport. Talking to a real person unlocks more perks than any app ever will. Use your AARP, AGAA, or similar membership cards. They can get you discounts, lounge access, and priority treatment. Be polite and direct. You don't need to exaggerate, but you do need to ask. You don't need to be rich, famous, or disabled to travel comfortably after 70. You just need to know what's available and be confident enough to ask for it. Most airlines and airports won't advertise these perks, but that doesn't mean they aren't there. The key is knowing the system and speaking up, because when you do, you unlock real benefits: early boarding, quieter seats, better in-flight attention, and even help during delays. You avoid the chaos that most travelers deal with and enjoy a smoother, more respectful experience from the moment you check in to the moment you land. These aren't special favors, they're smart strategies that every senior traveler deserves to know. A simple question at the counter, a quick phone call, or one polite request at the gate can make the entire journey easier. Flying at your age shouldn't be harder, it should be better. You've earned that. So take the knowledge, use the tips, and don't hesitate to speak up. You'll be surprised how far a little self-advocacy can take you, literally and figuratively.